Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today we are exploring all of the new things with the 16.5 patch. And this is actually the third time I've tried recording this. I've been having some technical issues too, but I think I've got them resolved. I have sound, my video's in the right place, so let's hope that it turns out better than my last video did, where you only got like the upper corner of it. Speaking of which, I will be redoing the Anixio video. But because 16.5 dropped, I wanted to get this out first, so I'm going to postpone that video until Sunday. Okay, so 16.5. Mindark has already posted about the issues that people are having downloading 16.5. So if you haven't downloaded 16.5 yet because you haven't been playing, please be aware that there are known issues downloading 16.5. I ran into one of these issues, and it seems to be one of the most common ones. The loader will actually freeze at 95%. The workaround I used, and it appears to be very similar to what a lot of other people used, is to force quit from the launcher. We're actually going to go after combibos so that we can probably do the berry clud. Force quit the launcher, and then after you force quit the launcher, reload into it. Give it a couple seconds. Reload into it. For me, the second time I loaded into it, it crashed. But the third time, it worked without any issues. So that is something to keep in mind. So that having been taken care of, I jumped in last night because this is actually Wednesday morning. This is one of those rare Wednesday morning recordings. And I did do some exploring of the patch this time before jumping in. So this is not a blind look at the patch. The first thing that changed is the way the missions operate. We all knew this was coming. But unlike the old missions, they don't have the kill points or the raw kills that they used to have. Now it's all progress bars like they have for missions. And I actually think this is beneficial, because from what I can tell, the level of the mob is a different percentage than like a lower level or a higher level mob. So it's basically operating off kill points, but it's less arbitrary, or at least it feels less arbitrary, and so that helps greatly. Of course, the classic missions are still in play. I did hear that if you hit J, you can still pull up the original mission log, but it is not available in your upper corner. So just be aware that you have to use the hotkey in order to use the mission log, or the old mission, to access the old mission log. Now, Mindark has not released whether or not they're going to be moving the storyline missions to the new codex, which we will explore shortly, but I have the feeling it's on the way. From what I can tell and from the way the patch notes read, this is more of a beta state, an open beta state, so this isn't necessarily, while the plan is finalized, how they're going to alter other planets and making sure that it's stable prior to releasing it across the entire platform appears to be the plan, which, to be fair, is an extremely intelligent plan, especially given that because of how old the game is, stability has been a known issue from time to time during patches. Now, this is not a rag on Mindark or an Entropia universe. The fact of the matter is when you patch a game or you try to update it, stability issues are going to happen, and sometimes they're unpredictable. That is an engineering problem. That is not a problem with the game itself. Okay, so I have just finished rank 7 of the Berry Clit Challenge, and now I'm on rank 8. Every mob in the game now has a 26 stage challenge. And at first I was like, holy buckets. But the first few, like I blew through 7 ranks last night in like an hour and a half. And I'm only hunting level 7s. So that tells you that the ramp up is a lot more gradual and gives you access to skills. And we're going to explore the codex here in just a second. Actually, let's do that now. This is the codex. I'm going to move it over here so I can at least see the mob for the most part. As you can see, these are the 3 mobs that I have hunted in the codex. You get the information on the mob up top. You can track, so it adds it to your tracking, or you can untrack. And then once you complete a mission, you can claim your reward. You hit the claim reward button and you have all of these options. They have given you so many more options for when you finish a chain than what they used to. It really allows you to customize your character. Now, I want you to pay attention to something. This is 43.75 PEC. P-E-C. Not PED. And this is something that threw me at first, because I thought it was PED, because I wasn't paying attention, because they've never had it operate like that before. If you are below 1 PED, it now measures everything in PEC down to hundredths of PEC. So if this was US dollars and cents, let's pretend that Project Entropia dollars work just like US dollars, which they do, except it's a 10-to-1. We're going to ignore that for a second for the sake of math. So you have PED, PEC, and then basis points, so dollar, cents, and basis points. This tracks it all the way down to the basis points, which is it is a technical term in the finance industry, but it's a good one to use. So just be aware of it and pay attention to whether it says PED or PEC. PEC or PED. In this case, I'm going to go... I don't even really know what I want. I think I'm going to go with athletics. Which, as you can see, I gained actually not a bad amount of skills for that level of PEC. I don't know that my athletics is all that high. That's agility. I wish stamina was an option. The only way I've ever seen to up stamina is to use stamina tokens. Is it defense? No. It's not combat. General? There it is. So yeah. So that is the codex, and that is how the new missions work. I feel that it's actually a lot... This is a serious quality of life improvement. It is absolutely a serious quality of life improvement. And things get added to the codex anytime you, 1, participate in the kill of a mob, 2, scan it using an identifo. And participating in the kill of a mob includes dealing with healing in a group hunt. If you're doing nothing but healing and the group kills the mob, it will add to your challenge. And you get a percentage based on your cut of participation. And I think that straight healers, I think, are still at 10% of the total take. So, for those of you who do a lot of dedicated healing, that is a thing that still benefits you. Just be aware. And I like the fact that they are letting players who have been playing for a while go back and re-earn all of these skills for kills they're doing anyway. It is kind of frustrating that some of us are, you know, we're getting up there in the hunting challenges. Like, I completed the whole curb hunting challenge, and now I'm going to have to go back and kill curbs again. A little irritating, but not a big deal. You know, I'll get over it. I don't mind hunting curbs. And as you can see, it doesn't take a huge amount of time to burn through some of these ranks. Now, I'm sure that as it's ranked up, it has taken longer, and keep in mind that the early ranks are going to be suited toward earlier or newer players. On top of that, this is a relatively low-level mob. I'm fighting mobs that new players are generally put up against. Berrycled, Terps, the Atrax. I've only killed 1 Atrax. That's something that I'll have to take some time to explore. I do think that taking the time to go to Jura and hunting the Atrox and seeing how that works is going to be very interesting, because Atrox on their own are generally higher level. they're more in that mid-range level 20s segment. So that is something I will have to take time to explore. But overall, these are the major changes that have happened. I love the codex function. This is something that we've desperately needed, to be able to look up a mob and actually read about the mob instead of having to go and find the damn thing and scan it over and over and over again. I'm going to quickly check Planet Calypso. I don't think I missed any of the important stuff on the patch. It looks like that on top of the platform update, there were some new there were some things that were added to Planet Calypso itself. Animations were updated for the Cornetarian and the Foul creatures. They've added checkpoints to boss rooms and beacon missions, which I'm going to have to now look up the beacon missions because that sounds like fun. Oh, it looks like the dynamic event mechanics at Fort Sisyphus have been updated to be consistent with the Medusa dynamic event. So I know that there is some disparity between the way the Sisyphus and the Medusa robot events worked. It looks like they have made it so that they operate the same way. Adjusted the Arley cave missions to conform to the new hunting challenge system. That makes sense. And redundant mission broker NPCs have been removed. So if you have multiple NPCs and terminals giving out the same missions, it looks like they have removed those extras. Now, how this is going to affect things like story missions, they haven't stated yet. I think I mentioned that before. But I think it's important for us to just be aware that if something is broken or something doesn't appear to be operating the way it should, give MindArc time to fix it. Log a support case if you have to. If it seems bugged, log a bug report. These are things that help MindArc's developers to correct things. But please be patient because, I mean, anytime you make a change, it's... And I might be sensitive to this because my lady is a software developer. Or at least she's going to school to be a software developer. You know, it's 99 bugs there are 99 little bugs in the code, 99 little bugs. Take one down, patch it around, 117 bugs in the code. It's the way it works. And I can tell you from having just played with coding, I actually put together a piece of calculation software for interest rates as part of trying to learn how to code. And it doesn't take much to break a working piece of code. If you go to improve one piece and for some reason it screws all the formulas up. So please be patient as MindArc integrates all of these things. They're usually pretty good at testing stuff. Occasionally stuff doesn't work the way they plan, so just be patient. I'm going to review the bulletin to make sure there is nothing else. Whoops. There are two other things I do need to address, actually. Okay. Okay, so for some reason they're calling the codex the bestiary in the bulletin. That appears to be the same thing, so just be aware that the news release versus the actual in-game, the bestiary appears to be the codex. That the release for the bulletin may have been written prior to the finalization of the patch. That's usually how these things work. And I'm willing to bet they issue a correction or an adjustment. It does appear that the grace period will be approximately a month. Oh, 1 year. They have extended it to 1 year. So you don't have to rush. And now I do wish I had finished up the long tooth missions. That would have been nice. But They have extended it to 1 year. So that's awesome. We have, you know, those of us veteran players out there, we have time to finish this. We don't have to rush through. And that was good. That was a smart move on Mindark's part. What was not smart was me getting stuck in with all of these berry cleds. So I'm going to have to try and extract myself. What the hell was I thinking? Okay, now is when I run. Ugh. They're surrounding me. Gotta kill another one. This is why I take way too much damage when hunting berry cled. Okay, let's retreat a little further. Oh, Christ. See, this is why you need to be good with support weapons, so when shit like this happens, you can just pull out a rocket launcher and shoot it at your feet. Of course, it targets the unreachable one, because why not? Let's trim down the number here. Hopefully I can outpace the respawn rate a little bit. Why would it target the one in the back? That is one thing. Mindark, if you're doing a lot of awesome quality of life things, would you kindly handle the tab targeting issues? Unreachable. Ouch. Gotta extract myself from this mess. Trying to outpace the respawn rate is not fun. Look at this. I kill 1 and 1 adds. Of course I'll target the unreachable one instead of the one I'm actually trying to kill. I'm probably going to die. Let's not die. I don't like dying. Dying hurts. And I end up all the way at Levis Outpost, which, knowing my luck, because I'm actually trying to get something done, would be under attack by the berry cled horde. I might have to switch to my long blade. And one just literally spawned right there. Ah! Come on. I don't even want to think about how much ped in damage my armor's taking right now. Come on, come on. Ah, there we go. Try and make a break for the hangars. Oh my god, I've got this train out behind me. Just Leroy Jenkinsing my way back. Leroy Jenkins, oh my, I mean, what better way to put it, too? You know, who else turned his name into a flippin' verb? Look at this! This is hilarious. The only time I've seen anything like this is when a player used a train of berry cled mobs to kill off Afkas at the Sweating Grounds in Royal Club. Keep wanting to say Port Royal. I guess I watched too much Pirates of the Caribbean as a kid. Which is ironic because I was an adult when it came out. Okay, once we're at the hangars, we can kind of work our way through these guys. Let's switch to the sword. Oh, looks like we picked up an Atrax too. Come on, we're almost there. Let me get to the hangars. Close enough. There we go. Come on. Always have a backup weapon that can kill everything. This is ridiculous. Short firm bird. I wonder what that little thing hanging off of it is. Probably just in graphical error. Yeah, it's a graphical error. Don't target mobs in the back when you're carrying a melee weapon. And where the hell did this guy come from? Oh, they're just kind of cycling around. So of course, again, it targets the one in the back. Okay, Mr. Dinosaur with the Lion's Roar is next. There we go. Of course, he'd cycle into the back where I can't reach him. Because why not? Come on, we're almost there. See, we've managed to call a large number of them. This isn't exactly how I wanted to complete the video, but it works. So yeah, that's pretty much the patch. I am actually quite happy with the way this turned out. I do think that there's a lot of quality of life improvements that have gone in. I think that MindArc has made a lot of smart decisions with the way they implemented this. Is it perfect? No. But there's no such thing as a perfect system. I do think that this is a much better system, and it shows the amount of development progress that MindArc has made in the time. Did he literally just spawn in the hangars? No, he must have like whipped around or something. I think it's showing a lot of good work. Come on. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next patch will bring. Now, I do think that with all of these improvements, I'm going to stand by my theory that MindArc is looking to port Entropia Universe to more platforms, specifically the mobile platform. I do know that there are a couple of programs out there that will let you emulate Entropia Universe. The last time I talked about this, I think this was during the 16 patch. There was someone who was using a program to emulate it on their phone. I don't necessarily recommend it. I don't recommend against it. Just be aware of the limitations of your mobile device if that is what you decide to do. For instance, when I ran this on a Chromebook, we had a lot of bleed through. And the Chromebook had an i5. It has an i5. So it's not a low quality Chromebook. It's actually a Pixelbook, which is the highest quality Chromebook you can get. But it didn't have the graphical power to handle it. So be aware that if you do that, you may run into graphical challenges. Now, apparently the emulator is supposed to resolve a lot of those. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to get into that. I do think that an official port is probably in the works. If I had to make any assumptions, and based upon standard development times, I would say it's at least a year away, if that is MindArc's plan. And if it is, good for them. I think that would be an awesome addition to Entropia Universe. I'm still selling that animal hide. Someone buy my animal hide, please. So that's all I got. I think it's a lot of good stuff. I am really looking forward to seeing all of the different challenges and going through and doing everything again. Oh, you know what we do need to do? We need to find out if the puny challenge still exists. I think that was probably the most important one out there, but I don't know if punies are classified as a separate entity anymore or not, as a group, or if it's just the individual mobs. So we're going to head over to Camp Icarus. Which, if I had been smart, I would have just got... Well, no, because I'm short on time here. Come on. Jump and skip and all the other stuff. There we go. I'm going to pull out Buchan's spare rifle. We're only going to kill one, so I'm not going to bother taking the armor off. Now I've got an excuse to go hunt robots again. What? I like hunting robots. Okay. Of course, it doesn't help if the whole place has been hunted completely clean, which is actually surprising because it's a weekday. But let's try this guy. Wow, talk about some lag. There we go. Okay, it looks like the Caudatragus challenge got opened. There is no puny challenge for those who don't have it already by the looks. But it looks like overall, it looks like it's going to be still a good deal because you're gonna hunt all the Caudatragus, and then you can go and then you can hunt all the different puny creatures and still get all the rewards. So that is not a bad thing. It does save you from having to hunt 16,600 of the little bastards. So, okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I hope this answers any questions you may have had about the patch. Good hunting out there.